What's up? Welcome to the Dark Souls 3 efficient walkthrough. On this part, we'll be taking on the Lord of Cinder and finishing the game, doing the Londor Hollow ending. Before we do go take on the Lord of Cinder, we're going to finish out any NPC quest lines we have left, as well as make sure we pick up any items or weapons left out in the world. And starting off with that, so we picked up Grey Rat's ashes last time we were in the Grand Archives, and since he's dead and we've beaten a boss, we can now purchase items from Patches once again, and he has a couple of new items.
Look at you, the luckiest lass in the world. I just got hold of some truly fine treasure, and for you, I'll practically give it away. I just got hold of some truly fine treasure.
Nothing spectacular. I think he gets a couple more embers, and he also gets a hidden blessing. Yeah, and that's it.
What do you say?
And now we want to go out and grab the last item from Cyrus's quest. She's also either dead or, I don't know, gone on to embrace the abyss, according to one of those giant bug creatures in the Ring City. So our items should be at the grave down here. So we got the shield earlier, and now we get the sunless talisman from it, which is a miracle catalyst. We're gonna head into the bonfire, and after defeating the Dragon Slayer armor with Aegon, which is his last boss you can summon him for, he returns to the cell where we first rescued the Miracle Lady, and yeah, his body's in there, and you can pick up his weapon and shield. So the quickest way to get to the cell would be the Road of Sacrifices bonfire. Then we'll just head up the elevator and go over to the cell and pick up his stuff. And just so you know, like anytime like an NPC dies or you finish their quest, you can usually buy their armor from the handmaid. So you can buy the armor that Aegon had from the handmaid at this point, as well as Cyrus's armor. And since Orbek's last summon, well, his only summon spot was the Twin Princes, and his quest is done, you can buy his armor from the handmaid as well. So Aegon would have been here, and in the cell we find his body. I don't really understand why he goes here and dies. I think her name's Irina or something like that. She is still in Firelink Shrine, and if you've bought all of the miracles from her, she actually moves over to the left tower beside Firelink Shrine, the one the Swordmaster was in front of. So we get Morn's Great Hammer and the Moaning Shield. And the Moaning Shield is a really good shield. It's heavy as hell, but it's good. So let's see. So, and now from here, we should go and finish Leonhard's quest. And this is under the assumption that you've started the quest by talking to him the first time in Firelink Shrine. He gives you the cracked red eye orbs, and then when you pick up the Pale Tongue and Undead Settlement and talk to him again, he gives you the key to the High Wall of Lothric door. If you go to the High Wall of Lothric and the second bonfire and head down, there's a locked door, and behind the door is an elevator that leads down to where there's a Dark Wraith held captive. You kill the Dark Wraith and you get your own red eye orb, and then talk to Leonhard in the shrine one more time, and he's happy that you've got the right eye orb. I think you get a gesture from him, and at that point you have to go join Rosaria's covenant and become a Ring of Rosaria to progress the story any further. And that's where we stopped, because if you do join Rosaria, it cancels out Cyrus's quest line. But now that we're done with her quest, we're gonna finish out his. So we'll head off to Rosaria's bedchamber, and we'll give her some tongues, join her covenant, and then Leonard will appear in her room. And you see nobody's in here right now. So you talk to her, and you asked to join her covenant, which I did earlier, and once you do, you can reallocate your attributes or alter your appearance, which is okay to do. You just can't actually give her a pale tongue to move up in the covenant. At that point, Sirius will get pissed off. But we have not offered her any pale tongues. And I'm gonna give her 10, which will get me the first covenant item reward from her, which is the obscuring ring. Technically, you only have to give her 1 tongue to make this quest line go on, but if you get her 10, you get the obscuring ring, which is a good ring. It makes you invisible at a distance from any other players online. Alright. So once you do that, you turn around, and now Leonhard will be in the room. Go over and talk to him.
So, you've chosen to serve Rosaria after all. She will be pleased with me for finding her another finger. But be warned, my friend. Rosaria's fingers need only fetch tongues for their mistress. Otherwise, we are free, unchained. Like Yellowfinger, you can choose to believe that all fingers share camaraderie. But do not force your romance upon the rest of us. Rosaria's fingers need, otherwise you are free to believe, but do not force.
Speaking of romance, little FYI, the reason Leonhard is called the ring finger of Rosaria's fingers is because he's in love with her and believes that he is married to her. And then Yellowfinger Heisel, I forget. Yeah, I just recently learned why each finger had a certain name, but I don't remember why Yellowfinger is called Yellowfinger now. But oh well. Okay, anyways, so once you talk to him, you have to refresh the area. So we're going to use a homeward bone and return to the last bonfire. And when we do, Rosaria is dead. So I don't want to examine, I want to pillage. Pillage the remains to grab a black eye orb. And we need that orb to progress on as well. That orb is going to let us invade the world of the person that killed Rosaria. And there's only one single place that you can use it. And it is up above the boss room of Aldrich's. It's in the room where, damn it, the princess like couches in there. Princess Guinevere or some shit, I don't know, whatever. Anyways, it's in her room, so we're gonna go to Aldrich's and we'll take the elevators up. So we'll go around, take the elevators up. And Leonhard uses magic. He uses sorcery spells as well as a weapon that does split physical and magic damage, but the majority of the damage is magic. So we just walk into the room, you get the message that you feel the black eye orb quivering. So we'll go into our item menu, click on the black eye orb and use it. Invade the world of Rosaria's killer. It'll be automatically transported into Leonhard's world.
Well, well. Never expected to see you here. Felt sorry for the poor thing in all her festering glory. And now you want to ravage her soul as well.
Alright, so I'm walking
sow
off to the
seeds,
side.
I'll prune the mess. I, Leonhard, swear so upon my vows to the goddess.
Anyway, so he has a twisted idea of love, but I'm gonna walk off to the side. Since he uses magic, I want to use a blue bug pellet. And you gotta watch his, he'll spam the R1s on you, so be careful of that. He also heals.
Certainly no reason to human skin.
Oh, that was pointless to heal then. Ah, go figure. Let's see, you can parry him. Let's... Oh, not that. Shit. Alright, maybe I shouldn't fuck around too much. Alright, you fucking piece of shit.
Do you... Blessed Rosaria.
Oh, I like his shield, though. That looks pretty cool. So after you kill him, you automatically receive the Soul of Rosaria, the Crescent Moon Sword, which is the it functions basically like a curved sword, and it does split physical and magic damage. It's okay. It's kind of like it's similar to like the Moonlight Greatsword, as it has the magic projectile weapon art, but its damage is pretty shit. And you also get his silver mask armor is for his head. And since he's dead, you can also buy the rest of his armor from the handmaid. His gloves or his gauntlets are actually really good for how much they weigh. They have really good resistance. So that finishes out Leonhard's quest. And you can do what you like with Rosaria's soul. You can trade it to Ludlith and get a healing miracle from it, or you can give it back to Rosaria and bring her back to life. You don't receive anything if you bring her back to life, and while she's dead, you can still respec, and you can still change your appearance and everything. Like, she doesn't have to be alive to participate in the Covenant at all. So you basically have nothing to lose if you want to trade it for the miracle. And if you're going for a trophy, if you need all the miracles, I mean, definitely trade it for it. Especially since we're at the end of the game, it doesn't really matter at this point. If you're going into New Game Plus, you might as well just get the miracle. There's no point in keeping her alive. No reward for bringing her back to life, so, but it's up to you. Alright. Excuse me, I'm actually kind of sick right now. Hopefully my voice probably sounds like shit, so I apologize. Alright, so from here, let's go over and grab Orbek's ashes. He went off to the Grand Archives and died. So we'll go to that bonfire and take the shortcut up and grab his ashes. So it's not the very first elevator shortcut. It's the second one that has the thralls in front of the elevator that we're taking up. Perfect, it's down too. So it's right outside the elevator room, up the stairs. Where all the candlestick sorcerers are. We'll just go... Here, I'm gonna kill this one. right here in the chair. I'm guessing he came here to further learn about sorcery, seeing as how it's the Grand Archives and all. And he's dead in the chair. I don't know if these guys killed him or what, but this is his final resting place. So we'll pick up his ashes. And that pretty much concludes everything you can get out in the world at this point. So we'll just use a homeward bone and head back to the shrine. As long as I don't get hit by a... Alright, so first we'll go over to Yuria, and she warned us about Orbex. She didn't like him to begin with, and she wanted us to kill him. And now that he's dead, we're going to give Orbex's ashes to Yuria.
Speak freely, thy lord.
Tell of Orbex's death.
I see Orbex's claim is proven false. As it should be our right and deserving Lord of Hollows. It is a Londor treasure befitting of a true Lord. Lord of Hollows, may the dark sigil guide thy way.
And she gives you the Marion Blade. It's a straight sword weapon that upgrades with Twinkling Titanite, and it does bleed damage. It also has a special ability. Heavy losses of HP boost attack. So if you're using this weapon, or even if you have it in your offhand, if your health becomes low, just like the red Tearstone ring, it boosts your attack power. I think it's around like 15, maybe 20%. So if you put on the red Tearstone ring and have the Marion Blade in your offhand, or if you're using it, if you like it, and your HP is really low, it'll boost your it'll boost your attack power by quite a fucking bit. It's very lethal. And since we're down here, in order to complete the Londor ending, we want to make sure that we talk to Yuria, and she asks us to this.
Liege, I prithee, play the usurper. When the moment cometh to link the fire, wrest it from its mantle. The age of fire was founded by the old gods, sustained by the linking of the fire. But the gods are no more, and the all-powerful fire deserveth a new heir. Our Lord of Hollows, it shall be who weareth the true face of mankind. Be safe, I prithee wrest the flame from its mantle.
Alright, so make sure she asks you to take the flame at the end instead of continuing on the cycle. And so that should be it as far as anything else to accomplish in the game, or any quest lines or anything. So with Leonhard dead, we'll grab his armor. Here we go. Body, hands, legs.
Ashen 1.
So that should be everything. Now we will put all of the Lords of Cinder's ashes onto their thrones. Start at the top here. It does not matter which order you put these in, or if you've already started putting them on. We just want to make sure all the thrones are full to kick off the beginning of the end. And by the way, after we defeat the last boss, you have the option to go into New Game Plus right away, or you can choose no, and you can come back and stay in this game cycle and go anywhere you want in the world. You do not have to start New Game Plus right away. You can come back and like farm for souls, buy a bunch of stuff before you go into New Game Cycle, or New Game Plus, I mean. Alright, so with all the thrones filled with the ash, the Firekeeper will move to the middle, and you walk up to the bonfire and click on Kneel.
Noble lords of Cinder, the fire fades. And the lords go without thrones. Surrender your fires to the true heir. Let her grant death to the old gods of Lordran, deliverers of the first flame.
Alright, we're automatically transported to a different version of the Firelink Shrine. And from this point, so once you go through that cutscene, if you travel back to the regular Firelink Shrine, there's going to be a Titanite slab that's for sale from the handmaid. Because once you unlock, in fact, actually, you might have to travel to the first flame. I'm not sure, because so you might as well just go outside the door and hit the bonfire, and you're automatically at the kiln of the first flame. There will be 2 bonfires. If you have the DLC, the one off to the side will transport you to the Drag Heap. This is the alternate entrance to the Ring City DLC in case you didn't go in through Ashes of Ariandel. The bonfire in the middle is just a regular bonfire. But like I said, once you initiate the beginning of the end and you go through that cutscene, you might have to travel here. I'm not completely sure, but regardless, at this point you can definitely go back to Firelink Shrine and there will be a Titanite slab for sale. I believe it's 20 or 30, it's probably 30,000 souls, I believe. So if you have any last weapons that you need to fully upgrade, you can go back and grab that and do so. I'm gonna change weapons to the Millwood Battle Axe because it has good heavy damage, it's light, and let's see, is that right? Yeah, it's gotta be right. Alright, it's got good damage, it's light, and the rolling R1 comes out so quick. I love it. Alright, I'm going to put a red bug pellet. So, we're going to be facing up with a boss that does mostly physical and mostly fire damage. He has one mode, I guess you could call it, that he switches into where he does magic damage as well. So basically the first half of the fight, he goes through phases. He has like a regular phase where he just attacks with his sword, which also does fire damage, and then he can switch into a phase where he has like a spear, switch into a phase where he has a curved sword and he flips around and does a bunch of dex shit, and he has another phase where he switches into a mage and does magic. Each phase is a little bit different. Each phase has its own moveset. I'll kind of talk as much as I can through the fight. There's a lot to go over before going into the fight. And if you are following this and you're doing the Londor ending that I'm doing, you can summon Londor Paleshade as well as Yuria to help you with the fight, and they will make it much, much easier. I know I've said previously that like each summon that you do increases the HP of the boss. For this boss specifically, it's way easier if you have more people. So I'm going to summon both of these NPCs. I'm also going to make sure that Yuria dies in the fight. I don't know if it was a glitch or if it's supposed to happen this way. I've beaten the game and Yuria has lived, and then she disappears from Firelink Shrine and I cannot buy her armor or anything. But every single time that I've had her die in the fight, she stays in Firelink Shrine, and it doesn't change the ending regardless if she lives or dies. But if she stays in Firelink Shrine, I can go up to her and kill her, and that'll make her armor set appear in the handmaid's inventory. If you beat the game and she lives, she'll just disappear at a Firelink Shrine, and her armor never appeared in the inventory of the handmaid. So yeah, I'm gonna make sure she dies. But with that said, all right. Basically, with the Lord of Cinder, especially if you're by yourself, you want to stay locked on and stay up close to him and kind of strafe to the side. I usually just circle around him to the right, and you pretty much got to learn his movesets. He's got a few different combos that you got to learn, and you dodge through the combos and get a hit or two in, and then just prepare to dodge through more combos. You cannot parry him through any phase. His second phase, he also uses lightning spells. He does the lightning spear as well as the lightning, the one where he brings it down straight to the ground and explodes the lightning in front of him, and throws it up in the sky, and a whole bunch of lightning bolts come down at you. But yeah, so there's pretty much, so it's fire, magic, lightning are gonna be the main, and physical are gonna be the main defenses you want to have, but mostly fire and physical. Alright, I'm not even gonna eat a red bug pellet till the second phase though, because he has a combo that's pretty much like a one-hit kill. So up close and dodge. You can also use the environment to your advantage if you're standing in a spot that's a little bit lower, so he might miss his attack by chance. So this is his dex phase, and you just want to stay away from him during this phase. It's really hard to get in and do damage because he attacks so quickly. In fact, I'm going to throw some knives that increase bleed, since they're both using bleed weapons. You can bleed him. Alright, so here's his magic phase. This is his weakest phase, so get up on him and just get as many hits in as you can. And he switched. So here's his spear phase, which his attacks are extremely fast. So you do not even want to try and get an attack in unless you're sure that you're clear, because they come out really quick. And just FYI, when he drops down and is staggered, he does parry as he gets up sometimes. Alright, so there goes his first health bar. Now we want to get away. He refills his health, and now he sticks with the same weapon. Shit, get behind him. He has that combo that if you get hit by any part of it, you're locked into it, and it does a lot of damage. So when he stops and holds his weapon up above his head for a moment, get away. Alright, here's the one where the lightning bolts come down. You can roll out of the way of those pretty easily. Oh shit, are they both dead? No. Usually the Londor Pale Shade will last longer than Uria. Alright. Eat one of these then. And roll. Alright, I'm gonna let her die. There we go. So when you're by yourself, I think the best tactic is to stay away from him at this phase and wait for him to do one of his big charging attacks that leaves him open. And, well, not get hit though. Alright. Alright, let's do this. Like that one. And I missed. Or the lightning bolts leave him open quite a bit. Shit. Should have rolled twice. Alright. Wow, I'm getting my ass fucking kicked. Jesus. There we go. Alright. And that's the soul of Cinder. Now, if you want to head back to Firelink Shrine, do not use the bonfire here. Use a homeward bone at this point. Once you click on this, it will immediately initiate the ending, which we'll go ahead and do right now. And we're going to click yes to link the first flame, and we're already set up to do the Londor ending, so it'll automatically do that one. And if you look in the background, you can see Anri as well. Now I'm going to hit start and skip the credits. We get the menu. Do you want to begin Journey 2 in your current state? If you click yes, you'll go directly into New Game Plus, exactly how you are. You will carry over all of your weapons and all of your items and everything, except for like key items, such as keys, and any coal or ashes. All the ashes and coal will be reset and everything, but we're going to hit no for now. And we're automatically back at Firelink Shrine. And that pretty much concludes the game. Just want to show that we have a Titanite slab. Yep, 30,000. Got the slab. What do we got for sale? Any new armor? I wish you. Oh yeah, so you also get the armor from the Lord of Cinder in here as well. It's okay. The helmet looks really cool. It's one of my favorite helmets.
Ashen.
Yeah. And so the point of leaving Yuria alive, so she doesn't go anywhere. Let's wear our new helmet. So we still got the ending that Yuria set up for us, but since she died in the fight, she's still here. And nothing has changed with her. If you talk to her, she tells you to still do the ending again, so. So, we want her armor set. We are going to kill her for it. So we get Yuri's ashes, and we also get her weapon, which is the Dark Drift. It's a katana with a hidden blade, and I believe it has the shield splitter weapon art. And now we give her ashes to the handmaid.
What take us by now? That isn't.
Which makes her armor set available. So we'll buy that, and it makes everything that she had for sale also available here now. The dark hand, the rings in case you miss those, which are change the way you look when you're a phantom, and the poison knives, and on and on.
Ashen one.
And that's pretty much every item there is. If you're not going to go into New Game Plus and you're just going to kind of keep the game state as it is, you can definitely kill Patches and take his ashes and give them to the handmaid as well. And in fact, it's the only way of acquiring his ring. So here, I'll show you this as well. So if you kill Patches, you get Patches ashes, as well as the horse hoof ring and the winged spear and the pierced shield. And that's the only reason I got the pierced shield, was because I never bought it from him when he had the Sigurd's armor. So any armor of Sigurd's that you never bought from him will drop as well. So I'll give the handmaid his ashes, and now she is the sole source of buying everything. We've given her Grey Rat's ashes, Uria's ashes, Orbek's ashes, and Patches' ashes. So you can still buy pyromancies, miracles, and the dark magic and miracles from out here, but all items that anyone else sold are all brought into the handmaid now. And that's the only way to get Patches' ring, which is a ring that it boosts the kick effect. Oh yeah, there's one more single ring. Now that Ludlith has turned himself into ash, you can still use his ashes to use up the boss souls. Speaking of which, here's a Soul of Rosaria, gradually restore a high HP for self and broad area, the bountiful sunlight miracle. It's free, might as well just grab that. And you can use the soul of the Cinder, soul of the lords. You can get the sunlight spear miracle, or the Firelink sword. The Firelink sword's not very good. But in Ludless Throne is the Skull Ring. Which easier to be detected by enemies. So if you're trying to do like an extra hard playthrough, I guess you can wear that ring. That's it. Game's done. It's over. We did the ending. We've gotten everything. With this playthrough and following the quest lines we did, the only things that we missed out on are, if you join Rosaria prior to the Abyss Watchers, and which cancels out Cyrus's quest line, you can get Yellowfinger Heisel. You can summon her outside the the gate in Farenkeep Swamp that leads to the Abyss Watchers. Right outside of there, you can summon her, and you get a different bow gesture. And also, if you piss off Yuria right in the beginning, and which turns her against you, and you also save Anri, the Pale Shade Londor will invade you twice in the Farenkeep Swamp, and then again in Irithyll, the Boreal Valley, and defeating the Pale Shade Londor both times, you'll get the mannequin claws from her, and you also get her armor set. The armor set will appear where Yuria would normally be standing in Firelink Shrine. And then I think there's one more thing. Shit. Pale Shades. Actually, maybe that's it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's got to be it. So there's the only thing we missed out on. If you're trying to get a platinum trophy, you'll have to, I mean, you got to get each ending in the game. So if you're going to play through it again and trying to get the platinum trophy, kill Yuria before the Abyss Watchers, or kill Yol. Either way, just piss off Yuria so you get invaded in the swamp and Airthil the Boreal Valley. Once you beat the Abyss Watchers, it'll cancel out the Fahrenkeep swamp invasion. So, and then you also want to get the gesture from Heisel. But yeah, those are the only things we missed out on. The mannequin claws, they're okay. The Pale Shade Londor set, it's not very good. The mask looks really cool, but other than that, it's not a very good armor set. So overall, this is the best way to go through the game to get the most stuff that you can through one playthrough. And that's it. If you're going to go into New Game Plus, I suggest farming up some souls. Make sure to grab any infusion materials you need. And buy up all the upgrade materials you need. Make sure you're stocked up on items, that especially stuff that's sold later on in the game, so you have them available to you early on before going into New Game Plus. Make sure you can, as long as you have the upgrade materials, you can upgrade with Andre the blacksmith at any time. You don't have to be any certain level, or he doesn't need any certain type of coal to upgrade stuff. But once you restart into New Game Plus, you won't be able to do the infusions until you get the coals again. So make sure you do any infusions to any weapons that you want before starting New Game Plus. And also the Covenant items. Any Covenant items that you've given to like Rosaria or for the Dark Moon Blades or anything that you've given carries over. So if you've given them 10 and you still want to get the 30 item reward, you only need to get 20. And yeah, I think that's it. I'm also pretty sure that any souls that you have from bosses carry over with you. I'm pretty sure. I'm not 100% sure. So, but yeah. But all of your items that you have will carry over with you, except for like the key items, like anything in here. The Eyes of the Firekeeper, any keys, the banners, Small Doll, Hawkwood Swordgrass, and the Dark Sigil, those all go away. One thing, so the Dark Sigil goes away, so you can't continue hollowing in New Game Plus. But any hollowing that you currently have, like up in the right hand corner there, it says I have hollowing 8. That will carry over to New Game Plus. So if you hollow up to the point where you're ugly, that sucks your skin all up in your face and makes you look like shit, if you carry that over into New Game Plus, when you get Yol, you'll automatically be able to do the 5 level ups like right away, because they're supposed to be staggered by your hollowing. But if you're already hollowed all the way, to get the 5 levels, you can immediately just do all of them all at once. But in turn, he gives you a Dark Sigil for each time you level up with him. So, but yeah, that's it. Awesome. Thank you for watching the walkthrough. Hopefully I helped you out. Hopefully I gave you some information that might be useful. Hopefully I did something good with this fucking thing. Alright. Have a great motherfucking Dark Soul. A fine Dark Soul to you. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you.